All right. Hello, everyone. John here, and welcome to the live stream. Sorry about that. The earlier conversation, my dog was in here, and we were just kind of having a little bit of fun. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. These live streams, there's not much I can edit out, so I'll just get started. So welcome everyone to the live stream. My name is John, and welcome to Everything Webflow. So I run these live streams every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and we go over everything Webflow, how to build in Webflow, creating interactions and animations, and yeah, anything related to web design and web development. So today, what we have on the agenda is we're going to create a homepage hero section, and I'll field any questions about the recent build. So we're going to build the hero section within the first half hour. Then we'll take 10 minutes to field any questions, and then we'll have a general Webflow discussion, and I'll field any super chats as well. So super chats are if you need support with your website, like or a personal project, and you want me to take a look at it and help you out. I do request a super chat, which is just like a small donation to help support the channel. So yeah, I wasn't here, I don't think, Wednesday or Thursday because of the holiday, so it's been a few days, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So today we're going to build a similar hero section to this site here. I like how they added this image kind of in an oval, and so we'll be creating this today. This is from AR Shakir on Dribble, and it's landing page heaven. Hey Amkar, welcome. So yeah, this is what we will be building today. And one little caveat, for those of you who have come to my live stream quite a bit, you'll know that we worked with the client first system, and initially I kind of poo-pooed it because I had my own system that I liked, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought it might be a good idea to use the client first style system for these builds. And there's a few reasons for that, and I actually mentioned this when I was going over the client first system. The reason I kind of like it is that it gives us a universal class naming convention. Is it the best? I don't know, maybe that's debatable. And actually, you know, the more I've used it, the more I've come to like it in a way. So, and it's not too different than any other class naming convention. It just has its own particular ways of kind of structuring a site that's a little different. But overall, I think I'll be using it for these live streams because it does give us a uniform base of a class naming convention, which I think will be helpful as you follow these videos. You know, you can just go to the client first style system and check out the documentation, and then you can get an idea for how I built it, right? Like you can see how I'm using these class names, how I'm structuring the website, and all that good stuff. Plus the client first system does start us off with a style guide, which is just a really great thing to have. So yeah, so we'll just be using the client first system. I think I'll be using it moving forward in a lot of my builds for the live stream. And yeah, kudos to Finsweet, because they did recognize there was kind of that gap missing for Webflow users of like, where do I start with class naming? So they did fill that gap, and I think I'll be using it in my live streams. So with that said, let's go ahead and go to the resources, and we'll just clone the clonable for the client first system. So we'll clone the project, and let me call it WebDev for you live stream. Today's 11/29/2021. All right. Hello, LMTW. Welcome. So yeah, we're going to be using the client first system, and we're going to be building a similar hero section to this here. So let's go ahead and get started. So Amkar wrote, from my experience, client first is good for simple website, but wizardry for more designer interactive sites. 100% agree with that, Amkar. And actually, I'm working on a new site for WebDev for you that's going to include a membership. And I believe I'll be using the wizardry method because I have some really interesting design concepts that would work well with the wizardry method as far as like scaling up different elements. So wizardry, I feel, is definitely more like you can use it for more designy things. Client first is really kind of structured, kind of in the box type of layouts. But I do feel, that wizardry is kind of like you can do anything and then have a beautifully scalable site. And then on tablet and mobile, you can have a bit more structure to the site on tablet and mobile. Totally agree, Amkar. Great point. I'm just going to delete everything that was in the main wrapper here for the client first. And let's just go to the style guide first. And let's just style a few of the headings. So looking at this landing page, I think the font I'm going to use is Playfair Display. It is a Google font. So let's go ahead and install it. Let's go to fonts and we will install it. So for anyone who is curious about the membership that I'm going to be releasing, it will include a Discord channel where we can have conversations about Webflow. The other thing I wanted to mention, I think I'll be changing the time of the live stream from 12 p.m. Central to 4 p.m. Central. I find that I have a lot of things going on in the morning right now that I do need kind of the morning portion of the day to work on a few other projects. But then after I'm done working on these projects, I can come to the live stream around 4 p.m. So it's not official yet, but I think this might be the last week where I do it at 12 p.m. And then next week I'll be moving to 4 p.m. So just wanted to give a heads up on that. Cool. So I installed the Playfair display font. And let me know if 4 p.m. works better for you or if that's kind of late. I'd be curious to hear what you think about that. Let me style the heading. I'm going to leave the sizes the same. And I'm just going to change the text. So Playfair display. So I'll just do it for the H1 through H3 and Playfair display. Okay, cool. And then for the body text, we can leave it at System UI. That's fine. All right, let's go to the home page and let's get started. So we have the main wrapper. So this is the structure of client first. You have the body, the page wrapper, the main wrapper, then you have your section. So I'll add a section and I'm going to call this section -hero. And for the section, I'm actually going to make it 100 VH so it fills the entire viewport. And that's all good. Let's check out the design here. We're going to put the nav bar in the hero section. So let's add the nav component in the hero section. So I'll add a nav bar. And there's our nav bar. Looks good. So we have about how it works. So we have kind of, and let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So we have this section here. And let me hide this here so we have more real estate. So we have these nav items here. Then we have this center nav item, and then we have this right nav item. So the way I'm thinking of doing this, let's go into the container, and I'm going to call this nav _ container, and I'm going to give it a max width, or let's see, I think I can say container large. Yeah, so we'll say nav container and I'll make it container large, which is 80 rems. And I'm going to do 90 rems, which is 1440. It will be late for me, but I also have one suggestion. Rather than keeping same name and changing dates for live stream titles, you can keep title as what we gone through. That's a good point. Yeah, great point, Amkar. I usually do it after the live stream, like I change the title after the live stream, but I do see that it could be more helpful to name it before we get started. So you have an idea of what we will be working with during the day. So great point. Definitely we'll take that into consideration. All right, so we have the nav container, so I'm gonna add a div block in here, and I'm gonna call this nav left. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll do better with the naming for sure. Yeah, great point. So we have the nav link, and I'm gonna paste that in here. Okay, so we have this. For the brand, I'm gonna put it in the center. So we have, I'm gonna say nav left, then we have the brand, and nav container, nav left. Okay, so nav. All right, so yeah, so the nav container, I'm going to set it to, actually let me remove this class. And I'm going to go ahead and add 90 rem here. So because it's specific to the nav container, I just want to focus, I don't want to add the container large div because we're going to use that for other containers. All right, so I'll set it to flex, horizontal, justify left and right. Okay. Your views on Webflow new design system. Can you share that? Webflow new design system. Yeah, what is it called, Pavish? I don't think I've checked it out yet. And actually, I'm going to center this nav container, and then for the nav left, I'm going to position it absolute and to the left, and give the nav container a position of relative. So we have the nav links on the left, and then for this nav menu, I'm going to call it nav underscore right, position it absolute and to the right, and perfect. And then we have the brand element, so I'm going to call this nav underscore brand. And in here, we're just going to add a text block for the logo, text block. It's on YouTube. Let me check it out for a sec. Yeah, I'll check it out. I do see from, it looks like from the no code conf. So yeah, I'll check it out, Pavish. So let's see here. So we have the text. I'm going to call this nav logo. Yeah, nav logo. And we're going to set the font to Playfair Display. And I think it was called like fashion or something here. Yep, fashion. Yeah, that looks good. Let's make it 3 rem, or maybe 2 rem. And let's see. Nav left, absolute. Right. Okay, so let me see here. Nav left. Let me change it to relative. And let's see, nav container. Let's change this to relative. Yeah, the nav, this nav bar always causes me issues. Here, let's try that. Nav left, position absolute. Yeah, there we go. Then nav right, position absolute. That's set to relative, container. Okay. So I guess I'll just do something like this. And then for the nav left, we'll set it to flex center. There we go. Nav right, center. All right, cool. So we have our nav links, our nav bar, and let me go ahead and set it to a background of transparent. And I think that looks pretty good. yeah, I'm cool with that. So we have about how it works in contact. I love these lives, brother. Any advice on how to increase conversion rates on websites? Yeah, that gets a bit more involved as far as conversion rates. That would require like SEO. Webflow makes it really easy to add SEO. Call this nav link. But yeah, SEO is not something I cover too much, but you can just go into the pages and add a title tag and description. You can add open graph for like Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, I would do like a search like Webflow SEO. And that should help with getting more traffic to your site. Or conversions, or you know, whatever you're trying to get users to do on your site. Right, contact. Okay, let me delete these, and I'll just paste that in there. So here we have, let's see, sign up and login. So once we get memberships, we can do sign up and login. That'll be fun. Login. And then we do have a cart. So I'll add e-commerce near the end, but the one thing I want to focus on is this image here of this dog. So let's go to unsplash.com and let's find an image of a dog. Yeah, this one could be fun. And yeah, this one could be fun too. Let's see. This might be cool. Yeah, I like this one. All right, so we have a few images. Let me go into the Finder, and I'm just gonna resize them so they're a bit smaller. Maybe like 2500. .4 megabytes. Okay, we'll use this one. All right, so there we go. So now for the hero, for that image, the way we're gonna add it is we're gonna add a div, and I'm gonna call this hero back, or just hero underscore top image. So I'm using kind of the BEM model for my class naming convention. So if you're not too familiar with that, again, just check out the client first documentation. Joe from Finsweet created a lot of videos on how to use the system. So definitely check that out if you're curious on what I'm doing here. So for the width of this image, I'm going to say 50%. I'm going to set it to auto, so it's in the center. Auto, this button right here. And for the height, let's set it to, let's see here. I'm going to set it to 80 VH. And I'm going to say position absolute and position it at the top. This section here, I'm going to say relative, so it's positioned relative to the section. So now we have this div block where the image is going to go. So I'll just add the background image, choose the image, we'll add this one here, I'll set it to cover, position it in the center, and that's basically it. So now I can just go ahead and add a border radius to the bottom left and bottom right. So we'll go into the border radius, I'll click the individual corners, and we'll just do something like I think I can do 50%. Yeah, 50% on the bottom left and 50% on the bottom right. And just like that, we have this this image. So I do want it to be a bit rounder. Let me see if I can get it to be a bit more round, which I can. So maybe 100% and 100%. Not quite. Let me try pixels. Yeah, maybe pixels will be better. Yeah, pixels looks good. So I just did like really large pixels. I might be able to do, I wonder if I do like 80 VH and 80 VH. Yeah, that seems to work. Nice. And let me make it a bit taller, so maybe like 90. Yeah, I kind of like that. 90, and then I'll change the radius. So basically I'm giving it the same radius as the height. So we have this nice oval at the bottom. Nice. So it looks pretty good. I might reduce the font size of these nav links to maybe like 0.9. 0.9, oops. How much will the Discord server be that you're going to launch? I think, yeah, so for now I have it set to like $10 a month. And then I have different tiers that give you access to more things. So it's going to be a Patreon membership, and there's going to be a few different tiers. So that's currently in the works at the moment. We call it pets. Pets makes more sense. All right, so we have that. The way discerning lifestyle. Not sure what that means, but okay. So let's just see how I want to structure this. So we have kind of these menus here on the right, and we have this text here on the left. So yeah, all right, let's see how I want to do this here. All right, so I'm gonna add a div Hero Top Image, so Nav Container. I'm gonna just call this Nav _ component. Can you give us access, give us insight of what kind of info we get access to and the difference per tier? Yeah, let me look up what I have so far, Brent. And it's still a work in progress, so that's why I haven't really shared it. Okay, let me just grab it here. All right, so far, Brent, I have, yeah, it's for beginners as well. So I have 4 different memberships. So I have the relative member. So I'm using, basically the memberships are titled by the position property here. So there's relative, absolute member, fixed member, and sticky member, which I thought was a fun way to create the tiers. And the relative member, which is the $10 a month, it gives you early access to any videos I post on YouTube. You get access to all my interactions and animations, and you get access to my Patreon feed, as well as the Discord server that I'll be creating. The absolute member gets everything from the relative membership, and you get access to behind the scenes footage of me working on interactions and websites in Webflow. And I give you a thank you shout out at the end of my next video. Fixed member includes everything from the relative and absolute. and you get an invitation to a live class of a website rebuild. And as part of this tier, you can request what website you want me to rebuild. And then the sticky member is everything of the previous memberships, and you get a personal 2-hour one-on-one session with me, where you can ask me anything, and it's just a one-on-one session. So still working on that. And yeah, I could be launching maybe in a couple weeks. I just have to see time-wise how much time it's going to take to have this membership, because I do have a few projects going on, so I want to make sure that I'm available for everyone once I launch. So there's just a few logistics I have to work out, but I know quite a few users have been asking about a membership in a Discord server, so I want to be able to offer that. It's just taking a moment for me to kind of wrap my head around it and make sure I have time for all of it. Pablo wrote, what did you think about the no-code conf? I thought it was amazing. I saw kind of like just the first video, the keynote, and I saw Timothy Ricks. But super excited with the features Webflow is releasing, like memberships and logic flows and subscriptions. It's something the community has been asking for quite some time. So yeah, I thought it was amazing. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll go ahead and continue with this, but yeah, feel free to ask any more questions. And Brent, I'll definitely announce once the membership is available. I'll create a whole video around it and kind of give a bit more information as to what it includes. All right, so we have this div block. Let's see here. I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do this here? Yeah, I'm going to set it to, I'm going to call it hero underscore heading. I'm just going to call it a wrapper for now. Nice. Thanks, Omkar. Appreciate it. So the hello wrapper, I'm going to position to absolute and full, so it fills the entire section. And then I'm going to set it to a display setting of grid, and I only need one row. So we have the left and the right. And then I'll add a div block in here, and I'll call this hero underscore left. And we have the left section, and this is where I'm going to add the heading and all this text here. So we'll add an H1, so I'll add a heading. And for this hero left, I'm going to set it to flex and put it at the bottom. Yeah, and that's it. Or center, let me center it. And I definitely forgot something. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I need to add a container. So the hero wrapper will add a div. No. Okay, so in the section hero, we'll add a div, and this will be container large. And we'll set it, so my container is going to be 90 rem instead of 80. And then in the container, we're going to place the hero wrapper. Let me see if I'm doing that right. No, the hero, yeah, the hero wrapper. And then for the position, I'm just going to set it to relative rather than absolute. And let's see, container large, hero wrapper. Okay, no, I do want the hero wrapper to be positioned absolute and full. Then we have the hero left. So the container large needs to be positioned relative. And okay, just trying to figure out how I want to style this container. Okay, so section hero container large. So section hero, I'm going to set it to flex, center, and center. Then for the nav component, I'm going to set it to absolute, and top. There we go. Okay, so we have the container, then we have the hero wrapper, and I'm just going to set it to relative. Okay, that's much better. All right. Yeah. And then we have the hero left. Okay. And we're just gonna give it the weight. I don't know what that stands for. The way discerning. All right. And I'll just remove this class. I'll call this hero underscore heading. We'll make it maybe a little bit larger, maybe 6 rems. And I'll make this a span element. We'll say hero heading underline, and we'll just give it an underline. All right. Okay, so we have that. Let me add a paragraph element. Let me set it to vertical, left. I'll add some margin to the bottom of this. Actually, no. Yeah. 2 rems. So I'm kind of deviating from the client first system a little bit. Let me just add a max width here of medium. How about small? No, let's do medium. Yep, for sure, Brent. Medium. Okay, and we'll just do like this. All right, so we have a little blurb, and then we have a button. So let me add a div. I'm going to call this button wrapper. I'll just call it button component. And then in here we have the button, and I'm just going to set it to let me remove this class. Yeah, we'll just do button, and we'll give it a specific width and height, so 40 by 40. So there is a bit of a creative license when using the client first system, which I'm currently taking. So I'm just styling the button right now, max width, and then let me add a div, place it in here. I'm going to say margin bottom, and then margin small, maybe margin medium. There we go. Okay, so we have the button component and explore now. So let me set it to flex and center. Then I'll add a text block, and I'll just say explore now. Yeah, explore now. We have the button. So for this button, I'm gonna add a div, and we're going to say margin right, margin small. Cool. I don't have the arrow, but just picture an arrow in here, so let me set it to center center, and I'll add a text block and just add kind of something like that. It's not a very nice arrow, but button underscore arrow. We'll see if we can find like a nicer. Not really. Something like that. Picture like a nicer arrow in there. But yeah, so far not bad. And let me change the font weight here to semi-bold. Cool. And let's try using some filters actually. So we have these new blending modes for the images. I think so. I'd have to give a background color, I think. Maybe. No. Yeah, I haven't really worked with the blending modes yet. Right. So I'd have to put this in a parent element. Let me try that. Hero top image. So div. And I'll give a background to this. Okay, never mind. I'll just do that. I'll have to work with the blend modes a bit more. All right, cool. So we did that. Now we have the menu here on the right. So let's see, hero wrapper, container. All right, cool. Yeah, so then I'll add a div in here, and this will be menu or just hero underscore right. Set it to flex and to the right, so we position these menu items here on the right. Okay, so I'll add a div, and I'm going to call this hero list item wrapper. We'll set it to flex and vertical, and then we'll just add text. They're not going to be links because I don't really think it's a menu, or it might be. We'll make it a menu. So we'll add a link block, and this will be hero list item link block. Actually, let me rename this, so it's going to be list dash item wrapper, and this will be list item underscore link block. Okay, and then we'll add a text block in here, and this will be list item text. All right, so we have office wear, swimwear. Alright, so we'll do those 4. And I will say margin bottom. Let's do margin medium. Nope. Hey Ivan, how's it going? So I'm gonna have to add a, oh, I did this wrong here, so let me delete this. And I'm gonna add margin, replace this div block in here. I'll say margin bottom, I'll say margin medium. Okay, so I'll copy this. Margin small. Cool. Thanks, Yvonne. Appreciate it. Office wear, and then let's make it 2 or 1.5. And we'll do something like that. So yeah, this is from AR Shakir. It's a dribble page. So just using that type of design there. So we get medium, office wear. This actually doesn't quite go with the dog theme, this text. Let's see here. Yeah, I do want more spacing. So let's see, margin bottom. Let's do margin medium. Right. Yeah, so I think we're pretty much there. Let me make this nav link a bit bolder. Maybe semi-bold. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I kind of like that. I feel it's pretty close to this. Yeah. We just need this arrow here, so I'd probably just find like a nice arrow to replace it. I don't think the client first system has arrows. No. Filling stuff from all, yeah, definitely. Custom class on that list item next time. That way you don't need to adjust each one. Custom class. Oh. Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah, that would have made sense. Instead of, yeah, I could have used a custom margin, because I think margin, do they have a, yeah, margin custom. Great point, Kevin. Yep. I haven't tried their attributes for the CMS library. No. Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier in this live stream. I think I will be using the client first system a bit more. Probably one of the main reasons is because it gives us like a universal class naming convention. So for those who want to follow along with me, they can go through the client first documentation and just, you know, see how it works, and you get a better idea of how I'm naming my classes. So that's the reasoning behind it. And also, it's kind of a nice system, you know. I kind of said things about it initially, but it does have some good best practices in there. Nice. All right, yeah, so this is a nice little site, kind of inspired off this dribble shot, and they have this little section down here which we can do maybe tomorrow or, you know, another day, but I like it. The user can click on these different categories. We can make it e-commerce, so I can add e-commerce, and then up here in the nav, in the nav right, I can add a cart. Oh, I can't place it in the nav menu, okay. So we add the cart. And let's see where we can place this cart. So I'm gonna have to add a div. Put the cart in here and the nav right inside of this div. And I'm gonna set it to nav right, gonna set it to a position of relative. This div block, nav right wrapper. Set this to absolute and to the right, and then flex, center, cool. And then I'll say cart text, change this to black. And the cart, we're going to change it to cart icon, change this to black, and the cart quantity, I'm going to change the text to black, and then this background, I'm just going to call it cart component, excuse me. I'll remove this background. Cool. So we have a cart. Nice. Definitely want an arrow there. Let me see if I have any arrows. I feel like I should. Yeah, I definitely do. But it might take me time to download it. No, they use embed code for the icons. Is great for hover effects. Nice. All right, I think we're done. I mean, we would have to make it responsive. Right now it's not responsive. This image, what I might do here is position it to the left and then change the borders. So I would remove this right border and maybe add a top border, a top right border. Yeah, something like that. And then for the hero wrapper, I would set it to, I would edit the grid and just make it one column. And then I would position this to the right. Or no, I would say left. And let's see, yeah, position the content to the right like this. For the hero wrapper, I might make it smaller, so maybe 70%. And let's see. So I want this to be on the right. Nope. No, I think that's a better way to do it. And let's see, Position this to the right. Yeah, this would be a bit interesting to make responsive, but I would definitely kind of work on this a bit. Hero left, might have to do like 80%. And I would have to, yeah, definitely make this text smaller basically. Say is mobile, and the max width would make it 20. Yeah, I'd have to give this more thought, but I might do something like that where we have the image here on the left, and yeah, we have these nav items here. This would need to be worked out. So nav left, I would hide it. And this I would put to the right. So I call this mobile menu, position absolute, and to the right. No, that wouldn't work out too well. Yeah, this would need a lot of work here. Anywho, I'm not gonna spend too much more time on it, but that would take some time to make it responsive for sure. Yeah, I think that's it for the live stream. Thanks for watching. I know I moved a bit, not slow, but I was kind of introspective on that one. There's a lot that kind of goes into creating a nice layout like this. Yeah, the last thing missing is a nice arrow to kind of finalize it. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. It was inspired off this site here. It's a little bit wider, so I might make this like 40%. Yeah, that's better. The way discerning lifestyle, they have the links here, and yeah, looks good. All right, I think that's it for this live stream. If there's any questions, let me know. Appreciate the super chat, Yvonne. Yeah, we'll work more with client first this week, and I'll keep you posted on the membership and all that good stuff. So yeah, if there's no questions or no comments or questions or any discussions, I can go ahead and end the live stream kind of early here. All right. Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. I will be here tomorrow at 12 as well. I'll let you know about the time change once that's done. So I think by next week, I'm going to be switching the time to 4 p.m. Yeah, but have fun designing and developing in Webflow, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. Where did you master Webflow? So Brent, Yeah, I just practiced myself. I did work for Webflow for 2 years, which gave me a lot of experience as well. Um, so yeah, working for Webflow and just practicing, pretty much every day made me a bit proficient in it. There's still things that, I need to work on. When it comes to responsive design, there's just so many ways to approach it. But it is an art. I feel like web design and development is, let me see if I can think about this on the fly. I would say I'd say 50% technical and 50% art. Because like, once you have the technical side down, there's many different ways to approach a build, because you have all these display settings and options, and it's just getting comfortable with learning the technicals to be able to apply it artistically to what you want to achieve and to make something responsive, and understanding units and how things work together. So definitely come back, Brent, if you're new to Webflow. We cover pretty much everything in Webflow, design, content management system, e-commerce, the whole spectrum of Webflow. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and hopefully once we get the community going, we'll have even more fun. We can discuss and help each other to build and design in Webflow. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.